Hey, what's going on, sports fans? TJ Jones here. This is the State of the NFL podcast, and welcome to Thursday Night Football. Watch along here. Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals in NFC West play. As of right now, the Arizona Cardinals are holding on to a 3-0 lead, but we see that the Seattle Seahawks offense is on the move. Back-to-back big plays by Kenneth Walker, the running back for the Seattle Seahawks. Seems like he's running the ball pretty hard on tonight. A lot of excitement has happened over the last few minutes in the first quarter. We've seen an interception that turned into a fumble recovery by Arizona. And right now, we're looking at 1st and 10. Kenneth Walker goes up the middle, and he gets about 8 or 9 yards. So Kenneth Walker right now is running the ball really effectively as of right now. So, you're trying to get the nerves down. You're playing on the road. You're playing in Arizona. So trying to run the ball, try to get the crowd out of the game. And here's a play action. Sam Darnold looking, has plenty of time, steps up in the pocket, and just throws it at the feet of Kenneth Walker. That pass is incomplete. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. So it seemed like he wanted a down the field throw to Cooper Kupp, but he was well covered. And Sam Darnold decided to throw it at the feet of Kenneth Walker instead of trying to take that risk. But it is a 3rd and 2 for Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks offense trying to convert here and trying to see if they can get this ball into the end zone. They tried to go for it on 4th and 1 earlier in one of their drives, and they tried to hand it off to Charbonnet, and they were stopped. So Kenneth Walker in motion. Here's Sam Darnold in the gun. And, oh, man, that was a tight throw and complete to Cooper Kupp, and that is enough for the first down. The defender jumped in front of the pass, but a little bit too late. Really good concentration there by Cooper Kupp. That was a really good throw by Sam Darnold. Wilson just jumped in front of it. He read it, but it was a little bit too late. Really tight throw by Sam Darnold. But anyway, 1st and 10. Charbonnet in motion. Darnold. And that is a touchdown. And that is by A.J. Barner. And the Seattle Seahawks now have a 6-3 lead. So the way to respond after a field goal by Arizona, Seattle marches downfield, mostly because of Kenneth Walker able to run the ball effectively, and A.J. Barner able to get the defender on a double move. Really good concentration there. Really good touch throw by Sam Darnold to the left side of the end zone. Touchdown. And now we got ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. Myers. And that is good. So right now, the Seattle Seahawks now lead this game 7-3. And you're tuned in to the State of the NFL podcast. My name is TJ Jones. And if you're new, you just so happen to stumble across this channel, we do primetime games every single week. Monday night football, Thursday night football, Sunday night football. You can get it right here. We have our live watch-alongs. Feel free to put your comments inside of the chat. Doesn't matter if your team isn't playing tonight. You can come on over and talk football with us. We really enjoy everybody feedback. Doesn't matter what team you repping. We just really appreciate you all stopping by. Alfred says, are the Saints just cursed or something? We was running these same plays and it looked so stale. But Seattle, the same plays look explosive and fun. It's about execution, Alfred. It's about the way that you execute. That's what it's all about. That separates the plays from working and being effective and non-effective. So, that it was a really good play design right there. And they were able to cash it in with A.J. Barner. So credit to the Seattle Seahawks putting together a really good drive and responding to Arizona. I mean, they had a chance. Kyler Murray threw an interception right in the hands of Kobe Bryant. Don't know what happened there. But they were able, I'm talking Arizona, was able to get the ball back after Kobe Bryant actually ran into his own teammate. So there's that. Remember when the Saints fans put bags on their head? That was my childhood. Yeah, I think it was a lot of people's childhood. And, I can relate to that. I grew up in the 90s when the Saints weren't very good. I know I may not look like I grew up in the 90s, but I did. I'm 39 years old. So I definitely know what it's like watching the New Orleans Saints play, play and, not be effective on the field, man. A lot of people looking at the Saints, they think that this is new. Uh, it's new to them, but some of us, we've seen this movie before quite often. We don't want to see it again. Trust me, it can get a lot worse. But once again, the Arizona Cardinals have 3. Seattle just scored a touchdown. A.J. Barner, the tight end, was able to cash it in with a touchdown, 16 yards out. And now Sam Darnold is 5 of 6 for 78 yards and 1 touchdown. Sam Darnold has been playing really well, since he's come to Seattle. A lot of some up and down play, but nonetheless, he's been pretty steady, and he's showing that Seattle made the right decision going after him. And it's also a credit to him and the coaching staff. Sometimes guys just need to go to the right place. All right, so we get the return here, and that's off from Dortch, and he doesn't get much. All right, so they're going to be utilizing Dortch quite a bit, especially with James Conner being out of the lineup. Seems like they're kind of lining him up in kind of exotic ways. I'm using him almost like as a hybrid type guy, running in between the tackles, also serving as the wide receiver. So we look at the Seattle Seahawks defense on the field right now. It's 1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. And, the Seattle Seahawks are a very underrated defense, one of the best defenses that rush 4. They always seem to find home. All right, Kyler Murray doesn't like the play, decides to make an adjustment, calling out his protections here. And here we go. Here's the handoff here to Trey Benson. He gets up the field, gets about 2 to 3 yards on the play. So that's going to bring up 2nd down. All right, so Trey Benson, they're going to be relying on him throughout the season now that James Conner, unfortunately, will be out for the season. We know that the cart came out, carrying him off the field. You never want to see that from a player. It's unfortunate. But, this is a great opportunity for Trey Benson to be that every down back. He was very good at the University of Texas, and he's trying to bring his talents to Arizona. All right, Kyler Murray in the gun. 2 in the backfield, looking, and he is sacked. And Wosu right there on the sack. And once again, that is what Seattle brings. They bring a lot of pressure with 4 guys. And when you can bring pressure with 4 guys, you can do a lot of things defensively because guys are getting home. And then on top of that, you don't know who to zero in on because all of these guys can get to the quarterback. It looked like Dortch might have whiffed on it. Seemed like he was supposed to provide a chip there before he goes out, but he didn't. So this is going to bring up a 3rd and 15, 11 seconds left in the first quarter. The clock is indeed ticking. They're probably not going to snap this. They're probably going to bring it to the second quarter, but instead the Seattle Seahawks decide to call a timeout. So it's going to force the Arizona Cardinals have to run this play on 3rd and 15. Hi, Lamar got sacked like 7 times last game. Yeah, he did, and that was impressive by the Detroit Lions. I mean, anytime you can keep an elusive, athletic quarterback like Lamar Jackson in check, not allowing him to escape the pocket, it's always a great night. Like, that's not something that teams are able to do, getting 7 sacks on Lamar Jackson. Hey, TJ, the Seahawks going to be a tough out for a lot of teams. Very good team. Yeah, very underrated, man. They don't have a bunch of big name guys on the team, but, they're able to get home. Sometimes, that can be an advantage. All right, Kyler Murray in a gun. He rolls to his right. He's under pressure. He tries to scramble, and he just gets out of bounds. He can't throw the ball down the field, so that's going to bring up 4th down, and that is going to be the last play of the first quarter. So when we come back to the start of the second quarter, it's probably going to start with a punt by Arizona. So this is a great opportunity for Seattle to get the ball back and maybe build on this lead. And trust and believe Seattle, the way that they play on Sunday versus the Saints, a lot of these offensive players probably well rested knowing that they didn't really have to do much in the last game. I mean, that most of the players offensively and defensively got opportunity to rest in the fourth quarter because the game was so out of hand. So that's a great advantage for Seattle. to get guys, not taking any type of, punishment. They're able to kind of just sit on the sidelines, kind of recover to be able to, play in a game like this. That was an advantage. Jumping on a team early, dominating the game, gives you an opportunity to sit your starters. Hey, TJ, I think I already read that. Says you look like you grew up in the 90s. Well, I did grow up in the 90s. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I grew up in the 90s, but yeah, I'm 39 years old. But who that records, man, like, yeah, I know, man. Hey. Anyway, some people wasn't sold on this Seahawks team, but I'm impressed, says Hubert. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, a lot of these teams are like very underrated because a lot of people don't pay that much attention to them. Like you got a lot of players that fly under the radar, and and sometimes they don't get the credit that they deserve for being a really good, solid football team. But at the end of the day, the Seattle Seahawks, they're one of the best front fours in football right now. C Styles is laughing. So let's see. But yeah, who that record? He always got something sly to say. I caught that at the end of the show, bro. Sound like you're a hater to me tonight, bro. I don't know what I did to you, bro, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, this is the State of the NFL podcast. Really do appreciate everybody's time. I ask that you hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. We're trying to grow this channel, and I appreciate everybody that has subscribed to this channel. We talk about some of the hottest topics in all of the NFL. Doesn't matter the team. We do live streams, watch-alongs, and if you're into that type of stuff, I ask that you hit the subscribe button. Shouts out to my boy Smitty, man, coming through. Atlanta Falcon content creator right there, man. Y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to my guy channel. All the Atlanta Falcon fans that are part of this this platform, and make sure that y'all subscribe to my guy, man. He gets you up to date with them Atlanta Falcons. Let's see. It says, Michelle says, do you think the Ravens got a real shot to be in the Super Bowl? Oh, absolutely. Look, man, I mean, the Ravens have got to stop shooting themselves in the foot. It's just the late portions of the game, man, when it's time to like kind of settle down, man. They just always make these crucial mistakes. They got to learn how to close. They have lead late in games, and they allow these teams to get back into it. Like, they got to be able to go out there and execute from start to finish. Like they had an opportunity against Buffalo. I mean, they had that game well in hand. The score was 40-25. In all case and purposes, like they're supposed to win that football game, but they didn't. So they got to learn how to close. But I think that I think they'll be okay, man. The Ravens gonna be all right. They got a lot of talent on the team. Just got to learn how to close. TJ, still no Chase Young. He didn't practice today again. Yeah, man, I just think that the Saints didn't do themselves any they didn't help themselves out by just saying, oh, man, Chase Young, he going to be all right, and try to minimize the injuries. So now everybody's concerned about that. We got Zach Charbonnet tries to get to the left sidelines, gets a few yards on the play. So Zach Charbonnet missed Sunday's game versus the Saints, but now he's back in the lineup. He was dealing with an injury. So Charbonnet and Walker are a really good 1-2 punch. Both of these guys are more like power backs. Kenneth Walker gives you a little bit more. But here's Charbonnet up the middle again, and he pounds forward for about 3 or 4 yards, but there is a flag on the play. You got to wonder if this is going to be holding on the offense here. See what the referees got to say. All right, as they deliberate, and it looks like there's going to be holding on this play. Okay, holding on the defense. So that is going to be an automatic first down. So that is on Johnson. So the Arizona Cardinals aren't really doing themselves any favors right now. You got to make sure that you minimize these mistakes. You don't want to give Seattle all the momentum. They already have a 7-3 lead, and seem like the running backs are running very effectively. Here's the toss off the Charbonnet. He stops, and they're able to corral him down. They catch him behind the line of scrimmage. So that is Davis Gaither on the tackle there. So really good discipline by the Arizona Cardinals there. But we do have an injury here. It's Wilson, who is on the ground. And it looks like maybe he's a little shaken up. It's like they're looking at his ankle there. So hopefully it's not nothing too serious. Maybe some cramps. Yeah, seems like let's see what's going on here. So Wilson, who seemed like he was a little shaken up on the last play, tried to battle through it, tries to move, and okay, ooh, you don't know what that is right there yet. He stepped on, maybe tweaked his knee a little bit. You hope that is nothing too serious right there. It didn't seem like it was any contact. So as they take a look at Mack Wilson Sr. In his 7th season, hopefully everything is all right as they bring him into the blue tent. All right, so this is going to be 2nd and 12, and we have the Seattle Seahawks holding on to a 7-3 lead here. We look at Jonathan Gannon, head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Sam Darnold in the gun. He sends Cooper Kupp in motion, and snap. He looks, and he gets sacked by Browning. And Calais Campbell, the ageless wonder, get in on the sack, and Sam Darnold didn't have a chance. I mean, as soon as he got the ball, those guys came around the corner and were able to get him on the ground. So this is going to bring up 3rd down. So really good pressure up the middle by Calais Campbell, and Browning coming around the side, meeting at the quarterback. That is good stuff right there. That's the way that you want your defense to be played. Pressure up the middle, pressure on the side. Keep that quarterback in the pocket. 3rd down and 19 for the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold in the gun. The ball is snapped. Instead, they just give a delayed handoff to Kenneth Walker, and he tries to fight as hard as he can, but doesn't get much, and that's going to bring up 4th down. So a really good stand by the Arizona Cardinals responding. After that defensive holding penalty, they're able to get the Seattle Seahawks off the field, and now Kyler Murray in the offense can possibly come back out here pending anything crazy happens on this punt. I mean, Calais Campbell back with his 2nd stint with the Arizona Cardinals, one of the all-time greats, Walter Payton Man of the Year. I mean, one of those humanitarians, the leaders, not just of this team, but the entire NFL. All right, so Dortch tries to get a return, gets around the side, tries to make a cut, gets to about the 28 or the 29-yard line, and he's saying he was close. I don't know how close he was, but that still was a solid return, making a couple guys miss. So the battle of the birds, Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals on Thursday Night Football. The Cardinals will never be a consistently successful team because no one wants to play there. The Bidwells are by far the worst owners in the NFL. I mean, look, all it takes, Josh, is a culture change. Like, you say the same thing about a lot of these teams that didn't find prosperity. I can remember before Sean McDermott came to the Buffalo Bills, like people were like, man, who wanna coach the Bills? It seemed like nobody wanted to coach the Bills. And then all of a sudden, you got Josh Allen, you get Sean McDermott, and they start winning football games, and now everybody wants to go there. So all it takes is, some solid quarterback play and some consistency on the team, and guys don't want to come there. At the end of the day, Josh, guys just want to win. They just want to win. All right, I'll be back in 1 second. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. I'm back. Had my DoorDash. Had to get my DoorDash, man. Didn't get a chance to get anything to eat. So I had to do some DoorDash. But the crazy thing about it is they actually delivered it to my next door neighbor, to my neighbor's house. My neighbor just gave me the food. All right, but anyway, 1st and 10, handoff to Trey Benson, gets around the sidelines, and really good game right there. Gets about 6 or 7 yards. He's still fighting. So he gets about 6 or 7 yards on the play. Got my Wendy's right here. Shouts out to Wendy's. Coming through in the clutch. Y'all already know what it is, man. Hungry. First, 2nd and 2. Here's a pass. And miscommunication right there between Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. So they started off the beginning of the game trying to build up the confidence of Marvin Harrison. Little quick pass to just try to get the ball in his hands. Seemed like Kyler Murray thought he was going to run a comeback route. Instead, he goes drifting up the field. I guess he thought maybe it was going to be a little bit of a back shoulder fade there. So miscommunication, something they're going to have to work on. All right, so a lot of talk about Marvin Harrison's confidence and where he is right now. All right, so 3rd and 2, Kyler Murray in the gun, quick pass. That pass is caught, and that's to Mike Wilson, and that's enough for the first down. So the big man, 6'5", wide receiver, Mike Wilson, more of a possession guy, but is very reliable in the red zone. Was able to catch a touchdown on Sunday versus the San Francisco 49ers. All right, so little tempo right here. Here's a check down. Trey Benson tries to get around the corner, stiff arms, fighting. And Witherspoon would not let go until his teammates came along and was able to bring Trey Benson down to the ground. So credit to Trey Benson. I mean, he had him behind the line of scrimmage, but he was able to fight as much as he can to get about 2 or 3 yards on that. So Trey Benson running hard. But keep on looking at Marvin Harrison Jr. They have got to find a way to get this guy involved in the game. But here's the snap, a little bit more tempo, and that pass is batted at the line of scrimmage yet again. That is the second bat down by the defense of the Seattle Seahawks. But that kind of comes with the territory. You know, Kyler Murray, not the tallest quarterback in the world. So you got those big guys that are holding their hands up. Kyler Murray trying to get the ball over their heads. And when you're like 5'10", 5'11", I'm being generous, you know, it's kind of hard. It's the reason why, you know, a lot of his plays are in the gun from time to time. Most of the plays to try to get him out of the pocket a little bit quicker. All right, so 3rd and 7, they get the snap, and he throws it, and it's caught by Trey McBride, and he gets up the field, and he gets enough for a first down. So he makes the first guy miss, and he's able to get that first down, and Trey McBride is fired up. So Trey McBride is one of the most underrated tight ends in football. People are starting to wake up to how talented this guy is. Right? And what Josh alluded to, like when you're playing out in Arizona, a lot of people don't really pay that much attention to you. But this is a very talented tight end. 1st and 10, Murray in the gun, snap, looking. And that pass is caught once again, Trey McBride. So Trey McBride with back-to-back big plays, able to get back-to-back first downs. So the connection between Kyler Murray and Trey McBride, there's nothing wrong with that. He's able to get him on a little bit of an out route there. I mean, basically just what Kurt said, a free release. I would think that you would want to try to guard arguably the best receiver on the team, even though he plays tight end. 1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. Once again, Kyler Murray in the gun. And here's the snap. Tries to throw it quick, and he tries to throw a fade down the sidelines, and it is incomplete. And that is intended for Weaver, the former Colorado Buffalo right there, man. And Weaver, who came to the Arizona Cardinals a few years ago, has been productive, and he's seen his play be a little bit more consistent. He's more active, a part of the rotation, and a very talented wide receiver, man. Was a guy that was a part of the East-West Shrine game, took part in that, and I think he opened up a lot of eyes, was able to go to Arizona, and now he's part of their rotation. 2nd and 10. Here's the snap by Kyler Murray, and he checks it down to Trey Benson. Trey Benson tries to get around the side. He fights, stays on his feet, and able to get a few yards on the play, but really good balance right there by Trey Benson. Was getting pulled down, was able to stick out his hand to keep his balance and try to get a few yards on the play. Not much, but still really showing the athleticism there. So 3rd and 11 for the Arizona Cardinals, and the Seattle Seahawks are trying to at least hold these guys to a field goal. And Kyler Murray and the offense is trying to convert a 3rd and 11. All right, so here we go. It seemed like Seattle is going to bring some pressure here, but instead they drift off, and that's a quick slant. And it's intercepted by Dearness Jones, and he's going down the sidelines. And oh my goodness, Marvin Harrison Jr. had the ball in his hands, and he bobbled it and right into the hands of Jones for the interception. I mean, had him in stride, and Marvin Harrison Jr. just could not focus on the catch, and the ball just bobbles up in the air. And Marvin Harrison Jr., man, right now he is going through it, man. He is going through it. I don't know what's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr. at all, but he's going to have to figure it out, because right now, homie not looking too good, man. It seems like he's in his head. It seems like his confidence is shot, and that's something that you do not want. All right, but anyway, it says, hey, TJ, you think the Cardinals wasting Kyler Murray prime year? No, I don't. They got enough talent on this football team, man. They got enough talent on this football team. Mike Wilson, really good possession receiver. Marvin Harrison, like, he just needs to get it together. Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in football. Trey Benson, a very promising running back. They seem like they fixed their offensive line, which, had some issues. Seem like they've been drafting really well, get a good core right there. And defensively, man, they got some talent, man. Some guys that get to the quarterback by committee. They changed around their defensive line, brought in some guys. So they're doing what they can to try to make this team formidable. But you got to catch the football if you're Marvin Harrison. You got to help out your quarterback there. TJ, I don't think you understand how poorly run the Cardinals really are. Look into it once. It's like nothing you ever seen in another NFL team. Well, I've known the history, Josh, of the Cardinals. As far as their background and some of the practices and stuff like that, especially like growing up. They weren't very good, but of course, like, man, they found success and have been to the playoffs. They haven't been there in a while, but I think that they got some promise, man. It's not like they don't have any talent. They just got to be able to put it all together. Because he was number one in the draft, he only has one playoff appearance. Yeah, but sometimes, man, you got to put a team around a guy. Like they are starting to put things together for him. But it's gonna take some time. Like I feel like they can make the playoffs this year. They got enough talent to do so. They just got to get it together. Like these type of passes, the miscommunication between Marvin Harrison and Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison clearly, like I've seen this too many times, man. It's clear that something is affecting him psychologically. And, guys have to be able to bounce, have to shake that kind of stuff off, especially like when you've been told your entire life that you're great, right? And you go through hardships. It's kind of hard for you to kind of deal with it. Play action. Sam Darnold throws it deep down the field, and he tried to get it to Horton, and Horton almost comes down with it. Man. And Melton on a really good play. That just shows you right there, you just do not give up on the play. I mean, he fights, and at the last minute, he puts his hand in there and just knocks it away. And, still battling, still fighting. Really good effort by Torrey Horton, but wasn't able to bring it in. 2nd and 10, Sam Darnold in the gun, looking some more. And he throws it up the field, and that pass is caught. And that's Jake Bobo around this thing. I mean, really good pass by Sam Darnold. I mean, he looks, he goes through his progressions. You tell he wanted to go to Njigba there, but instead he goes to about his third read and just able to fit it through there. And really good concentration right there by Bobo, because that pass was thrown behind him. And he was able to reach behind him and come down with the catch. That's a guy that understands he's probably going to get, that's probably going to be his only target of the night. Hand off to Kenny Walker, make somebody miss, gets up the middle, gets about 3 or 4 yards on the play. That's going to bring up second down. TJ, thanks for the great commentary. Putting in all-nighter with schoolwork. You keeping me company. Who that? Ryan, look, keep up the good work, man. Keep up the good work. That's what it's all about, man. Trying to apply yourself, man, to be something great. But appreciate you for being here. Here's the handoff, and this is the Kenny Walker. He gets around the left sidelines, and what a tackle right there by Clark. And that could have been really, really ugly. Like, Kenny Walker had a full head of steam right there, and Clark was able to get around the sidelines and come up with a tackle. But there is a flag on the play. Let's see what this flag is all about. Let's see what this flag is all about. 6 minutes, 45 seconds left. Buda Baker looking like he a referee, all up in the conversation. And the referees are deliberating, trying to figure out if they're all on the same page. So Kenny Walker is penalized for taunting. All right, so it was obviously something that he did that the referees did not like. I mean, football is a game of emotion sometimes, folks. All right, so Clark gets him down to the ground. Clark kind of dragged his feet a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look, I can understand that, but they never see the first guy. They always see the second guy. I can understand why you're upset. You know, you're tugging at a guy's leg. That's his livelihood there. 3rd and 18. Horton in motion. Sam Darnold in the gun. He checks it down to Zach Charbonnet, and he goes absolutely nowhere. The ageless wonder again. Calais Campbell. Still doing it at 39 years old. Still doing it in a major way. Calais Campbell, I believe in his 18th season around this thing. And has no signs of slowing down. Has been a few places, been to Miami, been to the Atlanta Falcons, and now back with the team where his career started, the Arizona Cardinals, and still out there playing. Walter Payton Man of the Year, still leading by example. I mean, these 30-something players, man, they still getting it done. DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, Mario Davis. Calais Campbell. I mean, 30 is the new 20 this season, it seems. I mean, you got Keenan Allen out there with Los Angeles for the Chargers out there doing it in a major way. 30 is the new 20 in the NFL. Ari definitely has enough talent. I guess you mean Arizona definitely has enough talent to win games. Yeah, they definitely do. Cam Jordan, where you at? Cam Jordan, he's still out there doing it, man. I think he had a pretty solid game. Didn't have any sacks. But, I mean, it's kind of hard to have a game when, I mean, Seattle was blowing the doors off the Saints. So, hey, TJ, Kellen inherited these players. He just has one draft and a few free agents. I'll give a coach 2 years to be competitive. Yeah, I don't think anybody needs to fully judge Kellen Moore based on what the Saints can't do with a limited roster. But I do feel like you need to judge him based on how the team looks and how they execute and how disciplined or lack thereof. You got to be able to judge them based on that. If the team looks undisciplined, they lack discipline, you got to make sure that you holding guys accountable for that. But as far as like the talent, no, I don't think people need to just sit up here and let this season define who he is and what he is as a head coach. I mean, it's going to have to take some time there. Because he was number 1 in the draft, he only has one playoff appearance. I think I already read that. I guess we're talking about Kyler Murray there. But look, man, I've been telling people, man, like, we got to stop this. We got to stop this and understand that football is a team sport. Like, you can have a really good quarterback, but you need some pieces around them. And also you need a game plan. Like you need a coach that's going to bring the best out of a player. Like I know we look at these players and we see them playing on a collegiate level and they get drafted, and we think when we draft the players, like all our problems with our favorite team is going to go away. But you need a good offensive line to protect the guy. You need complementary players to be able to catch the football on the outside, running the football. Like you need these things in order for you to generate success. So, I just look at this. I just look at this Arizona team. They haven't really done, they really haven't done like right by Kyler Murray. They just started over the last couple of years really investing in trying to get him some help on the offensive line at the wide receiver position. James Conner came over from the Steelers. He's been doing a formidable job before he got hurt, but got to be able to help him. All right, so here we go. Dortch gets around the sidelines, tries to stiff arm a man, and he gets tackled down. He gets about 2 yards on the play. That could have ended up being stopped in the backfield, so credit to him getting up the field. All right, so that's going to bring up second down, 2nd and 6. Kyler Murray in a gun. He looks, and that pass is caught, and that is to Trey McBride again. So he gets past the line of scrimmage, but he does not get much. That's going to bring up a 3rd down. So a little bit of tempo right here from the Arizona Cardinals, trying to get to the line of scrimmage, trying to take advantage of maybe a matchup that they see. And teams seem to do that. Like when they feel like they got a really good matchup and they want to keep that defense on the field, they'll probably use a little bit of tempo. All right, so 3rd and 2. Kyler Murray in the gun. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Carter in the backfield. Michael Carter just got activated for this game due to the injury of James Conner. And here's the snap handed off to Michael Carter. Michael Carter tries to fight up the middle, but he does not get it. That's going to bring up 4th down. I don't know about that play call, man. Questionable play call. And if you're going to run a 3rd and 2, you will at least want your star running back, or at least your starting running back in Trey Benson, to try to run that on a 4th and 2. Instead, they go with Michael Carter, a guy who just got activated from the practice squad. So I wasn't a fan of that play, and I don't think a lot of Cardinal fans were either. So Blake Gillikin is in the game for the punt, and he's able to get it off. Nice solid punt right there. Good hang time. Horton receives it, tries to get up the middle, and he gets tackled, and they're dragging him back all the way back. Really good work right there by the special teams of the Arizona Cardinals. They don't want anything like what happened versus New Orleans Saints, where Torrey Horton returned a 95-yard return for a touchdown. So, credit to the special teams. Who would have thought? Special teams actually trying to do things that are special. Who would have thought? No, TJ, what I mean is that the Bidwells do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that is incredibly disrespectful to the players and coaches, and they've never stopped doing it. I have to take a look at it. Now, you got to give me some examples, Josh, so maybe we can talk about it. Maybe we can talk about it. Yeah, that's what this show about, man. We're in the second quarter. We're in the second quarter, so, you probably could come through with some info. We can probably talk about it a little bit. Maybe that would help the Saints, and Sunday's O-line is healthy. Yeah, I mean, look, you got to be able to be healthy, and you got to be able to develop a level of chemistry, but it seems like this is going to be the first week where all hands are going to be on deck on the offensive line, the Saints starting offensive line. Sam Darnold rolled to the right, tries to throw it down the field, and that pass is caught. I mean, and Elijah Arroyo, I mean, and big target. And look, that's all Sam Darnold right there. Rolled it out of the pocket, got the hand up. That's always going to be a mismatch when you got Sweat in coverage, more of a edge rusher. When you got him down there, you know that you got a mismatch. You know two things are going to happen. Rather, it's going to be pass interference or it's going to be a catch. Well, here we go. And play fake. He's looking. Sam Darnold tries to run up the middle, and he's running, and he's still running, and he's still running some more, and he slides down to the 30-yard line. So Sam Darnold taking it himself. Wide open, middle of the field. And that's what you have. You got man coverage. Everybody's going back, and nobody's accounting for Sam Darnold. Probably don't think that he's going to run. And he's not a guy that's looking to scramble all the time. But if you give him opportunity like that, he will take advantage of it. And here we go. Here's a toss play to the right to Zach Charbonnet. Got a block out in front. Makes a guy miss. Spins. And he gets the first down and a little bit more. And the Seattle Seahawks are on the move. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to snap this ball. They're probably going to take it to the 2-minute warning. So right now, the Arizona Cardinals defense is on their heels, and the Seattle Seahawks offense is on the move. Just stopping through to hit the like button and show support. Y'all be safe. I'm going to catch y'all next time. Cartel, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate your love, man. Good coaching is almost more important than the players, in my opinion. I agree, man. You know, if you don't have a good coach, no matter how talented a player is, you know, you're not going to get the best out of them, you know. And, you know, you want your best case scenario is a good coach, good player combination. The Saints O-line finally healthy. Maybe they would on Sunday versus the Bills in terms of a protection standpoint. Yeah, like I said, this is the first time the New Orleans Saints offensive line is going to play together since the season started. Because Trevor Penny, more than likely, is going to play in this game. He was a full participant in Saints practice today. And then also Tallahassee Fuaga was a full participant after missing the game versus the Seattle Seahawks. So, you know, having those two guys out there, that's a part of your starting rotation. The guys that had the chemistry and getting the reps during the offseason together, you know, you want to be able to have those guys out there, you know, gelling together. Third down back in defense, likely thinking pass. Yeah. Or, you know, the Cards saw that 95-yard punt return and said, oh, hell no. I agree. That's why you got to watch the tape. All right, so Josh says, for example, the charge the players for meals at practice and stuff, nickel and dime players every way they can, incredibly stingy with the contracts. The list goes on and on. Yeah, I mean, Josh, there's a lot of teams like that too. I mean, we heard about the Bengals when they had their whole Ring of Honor ceremony, had the former Bengals players sitting amongst the fans, like really wasn't showing that much love to them. I mean, you have organizations that's like that, kind of a little bit of some skin flints. But, you know, you want to be able to treat your players with respect. They're the reason why you're able to generate billions of dollars for your organization. And these guys give it their all. So you might just want to like show a little bit of respect. I definitely agree that, you know, they need to do better if they're doing those type of things. TJ, I'm playing Madden and I'm up 3 against the Bills. There's hope. If you don't, what are you playing on? I got to ask, are you playing on all Madden? Or are you playing on rookie? All right, so anyway, 1st and 10, Sam Darnold, a gun delayed handoff to Zach Charbonnet. Seemed like that was a miscommunication there. He bumped into Cooper Kupp, but he was able to lean forward for a couple of yards there. So this is going to bring up 2nd down as we get under 2 minutes. And I'm pretty sure what Seattle is thinking about is leaving as little time on the clock as possible for the Arizona Cardinals to be able to facilitate a possible 2-minute drill. All right, so, I mean, you got plenty of time, 2 timeouts. Use one of your timeouts early in the game, but have plenty of time. Playbook still open. All right, so here we go. And here's a play action pass, and Sam Darnold off his back foot, and you got a flag on a play. And that was for Arroyo, but instead there's going to be a pass interference penalty. It looks like it's going to be on a very talented safety, Buda Baker. So that's going to be a 1st down at the 1-yard line. So, I mean, that was clearly pass interference. I mean, Buda Baker, one of the best safeties in football, but even the best sometimes gets called for a penalty like that. I mean, he didn't even know what a football was. Sam Darnold basically just trying to give his receiver a chance throws the ball off his back foot and just hoping that two things happen, a touchdown or a penalty. And that seems to be the case, a penalty. So they're at the 1 yard line. Arroyo in motion, and he trips. Sam Darnold trips on a handoff to Zach Charbonnet, and that could have affected the play, but this is going to bring up 2nd down and goal. So it's pretty obvious that the Seattle Seahawks are riding with Zach Charbonnet right now. Mike McDonald holding Kenneth Walker accountable. We haven't seen him since he got that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That is what you need to do, no matter how talented the player is. You got to be able to hold them accountable. And we have seen Zach Charbonnet the majority of this drive. So let's see if they can punch this in. If you're Arizona, you want to try to hold these guys to a field goal. If you're the Seattle Seahawks, you're trying to get this ball into the end zone. All right, so 2nd and goal here. Zach Charbonnet still in the game. And it goes on a play fake and tries to throw down the middle, and that pass is incomplete. So that was really good coverage right there. That was really good coverage right there. I know Arroyo was looking for a flag there, but you're not going to get it there. Really good, solid coverage there. So got him on a rollout. And I don't know. I don't agree with that play. And when I'm looking at it, it seems like Sam Darnold could have possibly took it himself. I mean, you had yourself an offensive lineman and could have blocked for you and right in front of you. You could have probably walked into the end zone. Zach Charbonnet, left sidelines, fights, scratch, claw, teammates pushing him all the way in for the touchdown. Zach Charbonnet able to take it in from 2 yards out with a little help from his friends. And now the Seattle Seahawks have a 13-3 lead heading into the locker room. I mean, Melton was able to kind of force him out, didn't have enough help. You had the offensive lineman, the tight end, was able to help Charbonnet into the end zone. And now Myers is trying to kick it and is up, and it is good. So the Seattle Seahawks, 14, Arizona, 3. But not all is lost. 2 timeouts for the Arizona Cardinals, so they still have plenty of time to try to get this ball into the end zone or maybe a field goal to try to cut into this lead. TJ, man, we need a win Sunday, bro. In a major way. Now, TJ, all pro. This will build confidence. Same touchdown on the Saints, Clint. Yeah, that was a really good play right there. Is that the Clint Kubiak that the Saints got rid of? That's the same one. Sam playing pretty good lately. Yeah, I mean, seemed like, the combination between Clint Kubiak as the play caller and the quarterback, Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold kind of started the season last year with the Vikings like this. It was like towards the end of the season, that's when he started to kind of taper off. So I don't know if it was maybe the long haul of the season was affecting him or something, but he started off the season with the Vikings like this. TJ, when you have time, Google complaints about the bid wheels and prayer complaints about the bid wheels that's been treating players like dirt for almost 100 years. I'm going to have to check that out. You got me intrigued, Josh. You already know, man. I'm always looking for those like little facts like that. Yeah, so that seemed interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. Seahawks maybe are really just a good team. I told them to be more middle of the pack, but they ain't looking like it. That's what I'm saying. Like, man, I know a lot of people weren't giving these guys credit, man. That's why you got to do your research, man. You got to do your homework on these teams, man. Just because, like, people aren't talking about them don't mean they ain't making no noise. And When I seen Seattle at the beginning of the season, even when they lost to the 49ers, I was like, man, they look pretty doggone good. So, I mean, it wasn't just a outlier the way that they played on Sunday. I mean, we're seeing them build on that momentum that they had. So, credit to the Seattle Seahawks. If they can continue the way that they're playing, I think, they can possibly make some noise in the West. I mean, the West is wide open. It's a very competitive conference. We know that the 49ers haven't lost the game. The Rams lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in heartbreaking fashion, but all those teams are going to be there in the end. All right, so here we go. Here's the return. And he gets to about the 27-yard line. That's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals to try to get themselves some points before the half. I bet you're happy like a MFer. He's not with the Saints. Probably is, man. I mean, not too many playmakers was around, and then they had a lot of injuries last year. So that was an absolute disaster. Seattle put up 80 points in 2 weeks. And the majority of them happened on Sunday. So anyway, honestly, it hasn't even been a week. They played Sunday. And that pass is almost intercepted. So Julian Love, who did not play on Sunday, able to play tonight and almost came away with an interception. So Jonathan Gannon seems extremely frustrated right now. I don't know why he decided to force that pass into double coverage like that. Look, you can't force the issue. You got to take what the defense gives you. 2nd and 10 for Kyler Murray and the Arizona offense. In the gun, looks, tries to get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. on a comeback route, and that pass is incomplete. And the Arizona Cardinal fans are very upset. You can hear a little bit of the boo birds tonight. Not very happy with the offensive play calling. So right now, the Seattle Seahawks have the Arizona Cardinals on the ropes. Halftime adjustments are greatly needed by the Arizona Cardinals. 3rd and 10. And if you're Seattle, if you get a stop here, you got 2 timeouts. You get yourself a pretty solid return here. You could probably add some more points on the board. So here we go. Kyler Murray in the gun. Quick pass off to Dortch. Dortch gets around the side, and he gets the 1st down and gets smacked by Kobe Bryant. But he has enough for the 1st down. So move those chains, ladies and gentlemen. A timeout by the Arizona Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon, I mean, he's the type of guy, you don't know what the hell he thinks. He's looking like he's upset. It looked like he could be just contemplating. I don't know what the heck going on. So next Thursday is another NFC West showdown. The rest of the NFC West, the counterparts of these two teams, the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. Should be a good one. If you're the Rams, you need that game because the 49ers are now undefeated and have beaten the Seahawks as well as the Cardinals. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10, and he is sacked by Leonard Williams. Big Lenny bringing down Kyler Murray, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down. Kyler Murray is trying to get the troops back to the line of scrimmage, trying to hold on to that timeout. Here's the snap on a 2nd and 17. He steps up in the pocket, and he's going to take it himself, and he's going to go ahead and slide, and you might as well just go ahead and call the timeout here, but instead they're just going to go ahead and let this thing click all the way down, and no, they're just going to go ahead and call a timeout with about 2 seconds left. So the Arizona Cardinal fans are not happy. What the heck took so long for you to call that timeout if that's what you were going to do? And this man is very upset. You can actually read his lips there. Definitely not for the kids, what he just said. And Arizona Cardinals fans are just extremely frustrated. They know that they got the talent. They know they have the ability to be able to get it done with the players that they have, but just not their night. And this is a game that you need. I mean, the NFC West could be one of those teams where you see 3 NFC teams make the playoffs, and you don't want to be the odd team out. So the Seahawks end up calling the timeout after Arizona called their final timeout. The home crowd booing them. Yeah, they booing them. I mean, can you blame them? I mean, miscommunication, bad throws. The chemistry between Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. is clearly not there. There's been 3 passes where it seemed like they had miscommunication. That comes with reps. You got to be able to get those reps, man. Like Kyler Murray should be able to make those throws to Marvin Harrison in his sleep. Like he should be able to make those with his eyes closed. So here we go. They're playing quarters right now, deep, playing prevent defense here. They're only rushing 3. Kyler Murray throws it to Mike Wilson. He tries to get around the side. He's not that type of guy. He falls down to the ground, and that is the end of the first half. And the Boo Birds are out and about in Arizona. That is a sound that you do not want to hear. And if you're a visiting team, that's exactly what you want to hear, because you know that the crowd is more than likely not going to be a factor because of them being disgruntled. All right, so Jonathan Gannon here trying to figure it out. 4-18 record when trailing at halftime. Not what you want to see. So you got to believe that homie seat is getting a little bit hot. And it's apropos that he's actually coaching in Arizona because, it's pretty hot there as well. All right, so at the half, Seattle Seahawks, 14. Arizona Cardinals, 3. I'm going to read some of y'all comments, and then we're going to go ahead and take a brief break. I'm going to eat my Baconator that's been sitting here for the last few minutes. And we're going to be back at the start of the second half. All right, but let me go ahead and read some of your comments here. It says, 75 points. Yep, 75 points in what, about 4 days? 0-3 in NFC West is what you don't want to be. I bet the Hawks to win despite being underdogs, been balling. I don't understand how they underdogs in this game. Still mad we passed on Lamar and Jordan Love. Shaking my head, yeah. But you live and you learn, man. The home crowd booing them. Man, the NFL is not the same when your team sucks. I agree, Corey. But it's good to see some teams that can execute and do things well. It's good to see some good football. And it's also good to see some teams that are dealing with some struggles. It makes you understand that it's not just you, not just your team going through it, right? I wish we had this Arizona week 1, them boys looking off. Sometimes prevent you from winning. Yeah. Harrison Jr. is thinking too much about catching. Yeah. He's in his head. You can tell. Like he's one of those guys that wears his emotions on his sleeve, and that's not necessarily a good thing. That is not necessarily a good thing. You gotta block out the white noise. You got to move on from first down to second down if you didn't catch the pass on first down on the second down. So he has to figure it out, man. I mean, it's pretty clear that he's going through something right now. And the only person that can get him out of this is himself. So he's going to have to come back out here because this team is counting on him to make some plays. I mean, they drafted him very high. They want him to be that number 1 receiver. And right now, he's not doing it. TJ, do you have a second favorite team behind the Saints? No, man. To be honest with you, I really don't, man. I mean, there's some teams I enjoy and watch play. Of course, the Baltimore Ravens are one of them. Buffalo is another. But, to say that I have a favorite team, no, absolutely not. But, look, I enjoy watching good football. That's what it's all about to me. Like, if a team can execute well, they come up with, like, some exotic plays offensively and defensively. I just like watching them play. And, now that, I'm coaching now, my son's team, like I'm always like looking at football and play concepts. So it's always like good to see teams that can execute at the highest level. Do you follow colleagues? Yeah, absolutely. Do I follow college or colleagues? Do I follow colleges? I guess he meant colleges. I'm looking at that wrong. I'm doing the college. But like I follow my colleagues and I also follow college football as well. Absolutely. I follow college football. I watch it quite a bit. I mean, this is my first year not covering the team. I covered Coastal Carolina for the last 2 seasons. It was just a lot on my plate. I could have covered them this year, but just had a lot going on with the podcast for the Saints, doing Bleacher Report and other ventures that I had. I didn't have time to be able to cover them. But yeah, man, definitely cover and look at college football. Good football really starts in November. Yeah, I mean that's when you really find out, Ronald, what type of team you have, what type of team that you want to be. Like sometimes, like in the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, teams are still trying to figure out what they want to bring to the table. Late October, early November, that's when teams should have it figured out, and you can kind of tell who the contenders and who the pretenders are. So I definitely agree with you on that. All right, but we're going to go ahead and take a brief break, but we'll be back at the start of the second half. Go ahead and get yourself something to drink, something to eat, and let's meet back in the second half right here on the State of NFL podcast. All right, we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The start of the second half. Look at the comparison of the quarterbacks between both guys. Got the stats for you all right here. Sam Darnold, 8 of 11 for 123 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyler Murray, 14 of 23, 83 yards, and 2 interceptions. So first interception clearly was on Kyler Murray. The second interception was a bobbled pass that should have been caught by Marvin Harrison Jr. Instead, was picked off by Dearness Jones. So here we go. And got a return by Seattle. And Derek Young tries to get up the middle there and gets past the 30-yard line to about the 32 or the 33-yard line. Some extracurricular activity going on. All right, so get back on screen here. Hope everybody's having a good night so far. If you just tuned in, this is the live watch along of Thursday Night Football, NFC West foes, Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are trailing the Seattle Seahawks 14-3, and Seattle gets the ball to start the third quarter. And it's going to start with a play action pass, looking, and wait a minute, the ball pops out, but it's picked up by the Seattle Seahawks. I believe that Sherbert, so he's able to get on the football. So Sweat was able to get around that corner, knock the ball out of the hands of Sam Darnold. He did not feel that, able to get past Charles Cross. Charles Cross tried to do everything he can, include tried to hold Sweat towards the end. And the tight end is able to get on the football. So Sherbert is able to get on the football, and that could have been really ugly right there. Jackson Smith-Njigba in motion, and he goes around on the end around, able to get around the corner there, and he gets knocked out of bounds right before he gets to the first down mark. So Jackson Smith-Njigba has been relatively quiet tonight, not really active in this game as much as he was on Sunday and has been throughout the season, has really emerged as that number one receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, living up to that potential. They're relying on him to be that number one guy since, of course, DK Metcalf is no longer with the team, and you have a lot of other talented wide receivers on the team. Of course, we know Cooper Kupp coming over from the Rams, playing for his hometown team, and also Torrey Horton, the rookie out of Colorado State. So here we go. Roll to the right there, and he throws it. That pass is caught. So A.J. Barner again. So once again, I mean, really good coverage so far tonight on Jackson Smith-Njigba. I mean, they are on him. They understand what type of impact he has if he gets going. So credit to the Seattle Seahawks understanding that they wanted to try to get him out of the game. So trying to get him involved. And Kenneth Walker tried to get around the corner and stiff arms a guy, takes him with him, but really good defense right there. Not able to get Kenneth Walker started. He was able to get 1 yard on a play. But you have to find a way to get Jackson Smith-Njigba involved in this game. Like, I like the end around just to try to get his hands on the football, just to try to get him involved. But you're going to have to find a way to get this guy open. And I'm interested to see what Clint Kubiak's offense can do in the second half. He's been having a hard time getting those adjustments, although, they've been having really good offensive success throughout the season. All right, so Sam Darnold in the gun looking. And that pass is caught. They go right back to A.J. Barner, and he gets close to the first down, but that's going to set up a third down for the Seattle Seahawks, and this is a big third down for the Arizona Cardinals defense. You cannot afford for Seattle to get any more points right now, at least until your offense is able to get back out there to maybe cut into this lead. Sam Darnold covering his ears, having a hard time hearing the play call, able to get the play call out. All right, so more of a little bit of a jumbo set here, wondering if they're actually going to run the football. And they hand it off here to Zach Charbonnet, and he leans forward, and he gets enough for the first down. So go with the jumbo set. and they're able to get the first down with Zach Charbonnet. So really good play calling so far to come out of the locker room by the Seattle Seahawks. They understand that they have Arizona on the ropes. The crowd is out of the game. They're not very happy about what they see so far in the first half. So you want to leave them very little hope that a comeback is on the horizon. Sam Darnold steps up and he gets sacked. So really good play right there by Robinson, able to get in on Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold, all right, so we got an injury on the play there, but really good defense by the Arizona Cardinals, able to get Sam Darnold on the ground, trying to get pressure on Sam Darnold, get him off the spot. We know that Sam Darnold, even though he's been playing well, you put a little coverage, and a little blitz in his face, sometimes he gets a little rattled. We know about the old saying he's seeing ghosts. So they're trying to make him see ghosts tonight. All right, so here we go. It says, Sue, do you got NBA 2K26 on Xbox Series X? TJ, I need to get one. Nah, I don't have it. I don't have the 2K, man. To be honest with you, man, I mean, I think I played the video game for the first time last night, and I don't know, in like the last 3 weeks or something like that. And that's because the house was quiet and it was around 12 o'clock last night. And I was just trying to play it just to unwind, man. But nah, I don't have it, man. I don't have it. Hey, TJ, what would you say if the Saints beat the Bills Sunday? I mean, I would be absolutely shocked. I mean, what can I say? Yippee, That's all I can say, but I would be shocked. 2nd and 15. Sam Darnold in the gun, tosses off to Kenneth Walker. He just around the corner, and he tries to fight, and he takes Buda Baker with him for about a few yards, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So once again, 3rd down for the Seattle Seahawks, and the Arizona Cardinals need to be able to get off the field. Now they're bringing up Baker Mayfield, playing some of his best football right now. And right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are undefeated football team at 3-0. Got a big matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles coming up this Sunday. All right, 3rd and 11. Horton in motion, looking. That pass is caught by Zach Charbonnet, and he gets wrestled down to the ground. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So he gets really close to the sticks. And this might be one of those. Okay, so I thought maybe they would have went for it, but instead they're going to go with the field goal. So Myers is going to come out to kick a field goal. This is a pretty accurate kicker here, 85%. Then a 44-yard attempt, and one of the best in the business right here. So here we go. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. Made it look easy. So the Seattle Seahawks add to their lead 17-3. So the Arizona Cardinals, down 14, are going to get a chance to go to work. One second, I got to plug in my laptop. Show was about to end before it was supposed to. And I just got a notification I had 10% on my laptop, man. I thought maybe it was plugged in. Looked down and it wasn't plugged in. Arizona Cardinals defense are dogs, TJ. Yeah, they're getting pressure, man. But the offense got to be able to help out this defense. They've been on the field too long. Let's hope it gets to 4-0 on Sunday. I mean, if you beat the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, man, you really got to be taken serious as a contender in the NFC. The Eagles better beat the hell out of the Bucs. I haven't seen, like, the Eagles have won football games, and of course they're undefeated now, but I haven't seen a dominant performance by Philly. I haven't seen a dominant performance by Philly this season. I mean, they show that they're a scrappy team. You know, they're scrappy. They go out there. You know, they do what they have to do to win. But I haven't seen an impressive victory by Philly this season. 17-3 Seattle Seahawks with the lead. Says, I feel like a missed opportunity for Seattle not getting 7. Well, look, I mean, you're getting points and you're pulling away, and now it's a 2-touchdown lead that you have. So the way that the defense has been playing tonight, by the Seattle Seahawks, they're not afraid. They're not afraid to go out there and, go toe-to-toe with the offense of Arizona. Arizona hasn't really done anything. If Drew thinks the Eagles' offense boring, I can only imagine what he thinks about ours. I mean, he probably just think that it's non-existent like most Saints fans do, right? Yeah, so here we go, man. This is a big possession for the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, big, huge. All right, so Myers kicks it off, and it's going to be returned here. And Dortch tries to get around the side. He gets to the 30, still plowing forward. So he's probably going to get to about the 33 or the 34-yard line. So that's really good field position to start it off. And Marvin Harrison Jr., man, they're showing the connection or lack thereof between him and quarterback Kyler Murray. Like this is a guy who is losing his confidence. This is a guy that doesn't have confidence right now. And like I said, I mean, when you're a guy who has been one of the best at your position and you've been told that you're great your entire life, and now you're out there going through growing pains, man, you got to figure it out. So hopefully he can get it together, because Arizona needs this guy. All right, so Kyler Murray under center on a 1st and 10. Hands off to Trey Benson. He tries to get around the side, and he gets tackled down. He gets past the line of scrimmage, maybe gets 1 yard, maybe 2 on the play. So this is going to bring up a 2nd down. So the running game of the Arizona Cardinals, even though they have tried to run the football tonight, and right now Trey Benson has 5 carries for 25 yards. He has a 5-yard average, but hasn't really been effective. So he tries to throw the ball down the field to Mike Wilson, and they're going to call a flag on the play. So that's going to be a pass interference. I mean, I don't know if that pass was catchable or not, but you're holding on to him, and they're going to call that every time. So that's automatic 1st down. And of course, pass interference is a spot foul. Last watch along, that was the topic of conversation throughout the night. Should the pass interference penalty in the NFL be a spot foul, or should they follow the rules of college football where it's a 15-yard penalty? But to me, I feel like they want these type of plays to be spot fouls, because it keeps the possibility of having points on the board for a team that may be trailing, or, may be building on a lead. Trey Benson leans forward. It gets about 3 or 4 yards on the play. All right, so Marvin Harrison Jr., it seemed like, he's really going through it, man. I mean, look, I don't think anything is going on with him except he's lacking confidence. And Kyler Murray it tries to lean forward, but there's a flag on the play. I mean, he gets absolutely nothing, but they're probably going to call this holding. I mean, Byron Murphy was all over him. I mean, draped up and dripped out all on Kyler Murray. And now that's going to be holding on Johnson, former Ohio State Buckeye right there, gets the holding penalty. I actually met him, Paris Johnson. Good guy, man. Met him at the NFL Combine a few years ago. Man, Paris Johnson, I mean, tries to take a wusoo to the backfield. I mean, He puts that big paw out there and basically just gives him a clothesline. Tries to stop his momentum there. But once again, you have the penalties. You have the miscommunication between Murray and Harrison. So somebody has to make a play. Somebody's going to have to step up here. Kyler Murray looking. Checks it down to Trey Benson. Trey Benson cuts cross field. And it looked very promising, but it's right there. Thomas was right there on the spot, not Earl Thomas. But he's able to get the stop. Looked like Earl Thomas on that play. Is the Saints need the quarterback from the replacement players? They should try to get him the ball with some quick routes, maybe wide. They need to give him some passes that build up his confidence. Like he's up the field right there. So if you can get him like a screen pass or something like that. All right, so he flushed out of the pocket. Kyler Murray just throws the ball away, and that pass is incomplete on a 3rd and 14. So you know the crowd isn't going to like that. And you can hear the Boo Birds. They are not happy at what they're seeing tonight from their offense. Come on, man. Get out that man face. He's just trying to eat his popcorn there. Come on, Arizona. Step it up on the field and throw the ball to the receivers for real. Like, yeah, it just looks like a rough night for the Arizona Cardinals. And I definitely don't agree. I definitely don't agree with the play calling so far. Like, you got to be able to get the ball into this young man's hands. He's a big, powerful guy. How about get some wide receiver screens going or something? And Blake Gillikin is able to get it off, and that's going to be a fair catch by Horton. So that's going to be like a 1st and 10 for the Seattle Seahawks, maybe on the 12 or the 13-yard line. So Sam Darnold and the Seattle offense back out to try to put a nail in a coffin and call it a night. Maybe they'll get an opportunity to rest some of their starters again like they did last game. The way that this game is going doesn't seem like Arizona offense has any answer for the Seattle's defense. Doesn't feel like there's any rhythm on Arizona play calling. Yeah, it really doesn't. It just seems like there's no rhyme, no reason. It seems like they're just basically just out there going through the motions. And, you know, football, once again, it's the game of emotions. Like, you have to have your emotions in check. You got to be able to have that chemistry. So it's pretty clear what Seattle is doing, man. They're neutralizing Trey McBride, making sure that he's not a factor. And they understand that Marvin Harrison Jr. is kind of going through it. So, you know, it just seems like, you know, they're trying to just bracket Trey McBride. And if you do that, then none of those other wide receivers are capable right now of beating them, especially if Marvin Harrison Jr. is playing the way that he is right now. Shouts out to Reggie becoming a YouTube member. Thank you, Reggie. I appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you're new, I'll ask that you hit the subscribe button. We do this every single primetime game, live stream, NFL games, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. You'll be able to catch it here on the State of the NFL podcast. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that link inside of the comments so you can be able to subscribe to the State of the NFL podcast if you have not already. So I'm going to put that link inside of the comments. And like I said, if you're into sports talk, if you're into live watch alongs, having a good time, just covering the NFL, you know, looking around the league, maybe you just need some motivation that maybe your team can look like this one day, or maybe you're just looking at scouting the competition. You can do that here on the State of the NFL podcast. But thank you, Reggie, for subscribing, man. I appreciate that. Gregory says, how did we lose to the Cardinals, TJ? They're looking bad right now. But also, Greg, this is the divisional game. Everybody knows where the bodies are buried. Everybody knows what the tendencies are. Like, you kind of just know your foes. So, I mean, this is not an indicator of who and what Arizona is. It's just the fact that, you know, Seattle is a division rival, so they understand what this team is do. And here's another end around by Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he gets tackled right away. Big time tackle right there and gets them behind the line of scrimmage. So rough night for Jackson Smith and Jigba. Seattle trying to get them involved, but it doesn't seem like it's working. And this defense of the Arizona Cardinals are doing everything that they can to try to make sure that this team is still in it. But the Arizona Cardinals offense has got to put some points on the board. If you're the offensive coordinator, you got to be calling your best plays. The Seattle offense is, pushing this ball down the field, and Arizona Cardinals defense is trying to do everything that they can to stop them. All right, so here we go. Sam Darnold throws the ball. This pass is caught by Cooper Kupp, and he's tackled in the backfield by Zay Collins, the former University of Tulsa linebacker. Xavier Collins, Guy's really a really talented linebacker. So Xavier Collins making plays right there. All right, so Sam Darnold, you're talking about him being 28 years old. That's pretty incredible, man. It seems like he's been in the league forever. He's still in his 20s. All right, so 3rd and 10. Arizona trying to get a stop, trying to get these guys off the field. And that pass is thrown and knocked away by Melton. Tried to get it to Cooper Kupp, and really good coverage right there. So really good defensive stand. 3 and out for the Arizona Cardinals. So now this offense has got to respond. Halftime adjustments were made by the defense. Now these adjustments have to be made by the offense. They're trying to stay in this game. They're trying to keep them motivated. They're trying to fight. This offense has got to find a way to get these guys some points. They got to do their part. All right, and that kick was out of bounds. Not the best kick I've ever seen in my entire life. Referee still walking some more. Looks like he's going to put that ball at about the 35 or 40-yard line. So not a really good punt right there, and it's going to set up Arizona with some really good field position. They got to take advantage of it. They got to take advantage of it, man. Kyler Murray looked like he's giving up on the pocket and a little too quick. Yeah, I mean, but look, when the pocket collapsing the way that it is, and you got pressure like coming up in your face with Byron Murphy, man, it's kind of hard not to rush the clock in your head. When you're taking hits and when the defense is getting pressure on you, like it's kind of hard for you to just sit back there and have patience in that pocket. Like he has that clock in his head, and it seems like it's kind of sped up. So that's the reason why he's trying to get the ball out of his hands real quickly. But when guys aren't getting getting open or getting free, so it's kind of hard for you to stand in that pocket when you have a defense like Seattle providing pressure. I didn't know Sam Darnold was that young. Feel like dude was around with Peyton Manning. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he's been around forever, man. Feel like he's been around forever. You look at guys like Patrick Mahomes, and he's 30, and I want to say Baker. Man, Baker was 29 or 30, something like that. So I mean, it seems like he's just been in the NFL forever. Yeah, Baker's 30 years old. Sam Darnold is 28. That's unbelievable, man. It seems like he should be older than that. Been around, bounced around quite a few teams. Seems like he's found some stability over the last couple of years at the quarterback position. Seems like amazing things happen when you lead the state of New York and you no longer become a New York quarterback, rather it's the Jets or the Giants. No disrespect to my Jets and Giant fans out there, but it seems like you all put too much pressure on these players. And, when they leave, it seems like, oh, whoo, I'm good, right? Look at Daniel Jones right now, as they call him, Indiana Jones. Look at Sam Darnold. Look at Geno Smith. Not look at Geno Smith, but not look at him this year. But over the last couple of years, he was pretty steady as Seattle quarterback. Just seemed like good things happen when guys that lead the state of New York. I guess they don't want to be dealing with those sharks in the water that's called the sports media out there. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. You got Dortch in motion, and he looks and he checks it down to Trey McBride, he gets a few yards on the play, but if you're Kyler Murray, you're just happy to get a completion, man. It seemed like it's been a minute since he actually completed a pass to somebody. All right, so, man, you got to find a way to get Marvin Harrison Jr. involved. Like, try to do a wide receiver screen. Try to see if he can actually barrel forward, use some power. Use some power to be able to get forward or something, lean forward. You got to get too many yards. Just get the ball in his hands. All right, so anyway, Kyler Murray in the gun. Trey Benson in the backfield. He's looking, and he completes it to Trey Benson. Trey Benson gets enough for the first down. So a much-needed first down for the Arizona Cardinals. Like, you got to be able to keep this drive alive. You have got to come away with some points. Even if you only get a field goal on this drive, you got to be able to sustain this drive. And if you're Jonathan Gannon, you might want to make this 4-down territory regardless of how this pans out. Kyler Murray in the gun, throws it, and that pass is complete to Marvin Harrison Jr. Woolen saying that he was out, but Marvin Harrison Jr. completes the pass, and the crowd goes wild, and it was a much-needed completion. So hopefully that can help build this guy's confidence, as he's been struggling with that over the last couple of weeks. And he's able to get both feet down. Really good toe tap right there by Marvin Harrison. And let's see if that actually can be the start of him building up his confidence. All right, so here we go. Kyler Murray under center on his 1st and 10. And it's a flea flicker, and it does not work. Seattle's defense was all over that. They tried to go for a deep shot. Byron Murphy and crew was like, no, sir. No, sir. I mean, so Witherspoon was able to get around Trey McBride and just blew that play up. I say Trey Benson tried to get that flea flicker going, but I can understand why they tried to go for it, but tried to catch him off guard. But all right, so anyway, 2nd and 17, Kyler Murray rushing for his life, pushing it down the field, and he probably didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage on that play. That's going to be a loss. So 3rd down and long right there. So really good discipline by the Seattle Seahawks defense on his drive so far, especially on the flea flicker on the trick play. They didn't fall for it. And, I mean, just pressure all in the face of Kyler Murray. Like, as soon as he gets the ball, like, you see the defenders of the Seattle Seahawks just getting around his offensive lineman, and you can see the frustration on Kyler Murray's face. Like, man, just give me some time to go through my progressions. I mean, little to no time. Quick pass right there to Dortch, and that pass is incomplete. So this has been the night from hell for the Arizona Cardinals offense. Even on a wide receiver screen, they can't get it right. I mean, it's just been a rough night all in all. I mean, seems like nobody can make a play. Kyler Murray is trying to get the ball to the receivers. They're dropping passes. They're not focused. All right, so here we go. You need something here. All right, so we got a 57-yard field goal right here. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. 57-yard field goal, and it looked like he could have made it from 67. And look, may not be the way that you wanted to get points, but, man, you needed something. You needed a spark or something. All right, so here we go. Looking at the cover, I mean, pretty much bracketed all across the board. There's nowhere to go with the football. Nobody is getting open. Nobody is getting open. I mean, credit to the secondary of the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, they got that thing on click-clack, on lock. There's nowhere for Kyler Murray to put that football. TJ, the Raiders beat the Commanders 62-3, and many consider the Raiders O-line to be the best in the country right now. The Raiders? The Raiders? You talking about the Las Vegas Raiders? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I mean, they got some really good offensive lines out here, man. Cardinals fans sounded like us last year on a Thursday night. Yeah. People tired of it, man. And really good kick by Ryland, and he's going to kick this ball off. The Cards offense don't surprise me, but their defense I thought would be better. I mean, the defense is keeping them in the game, Josh. To be honest with you, like, their defense is keeping them in the game. They're the ones that's giving these guys a chance. I mean, you force a 3 and out. They're playing pretty disciplined, and they've given the Arizona Cardinals offense, they've given their counterparts opportunities to be able to push the ball down the field. Just the play calling has been pretty stale tonight. And it seems like they just don't have an answer. Man, these Seahawks fans about to make us curse an hour ago. They talking all that noise because they beat the Saints last Sunday. Well, look, man, look, they got a right to talk. And look, I ain't got nothing against no Seattle Seahawks fans because, look, man, they passionate fans just like, you know, many of these blue-collar, football towns. They love their football. And it's like some of the kindest people, man, that you're going to meet, people in Seattle. They just love their football team. You know, and it's just like, you know, if you're a Saints fan or you're a Bucks fan or you're Seattle, you know, Arizona Cardinal fan, like, you love your football team and, you know, you want them to do well and you're going to support them. At least you should. Now that I watched these two play, it is far-fetched to say that we are tanking on the sneak. Yeah, I mean, the way the New Orleans Saints been looking lately, I mean, maybe the fact that they haven't been as aggressive at fixing certain issues on the team, going out, getting free agents to maybe, give you more production than maybe a young, inexperienced guy would. Incomplete pass intended for Jackson Smith-Njigba on a second down. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6. But, yeah, I mean, maybe that's the case, you know, but that's something that I guess Saints fans want, right? They want to see, you know, maybe be picking in the top 3 to get a quarterback of the future, an impactful player. So, maybe you're going to finally get what you asked for. Because the way the New Orleans Saints look, I can tell you right now, not much winning going to be going on in New Orleans. Not this season, at least. 3rd and 6 for the Seattle Seahawks. Cooper Kupp in motion. Sam Darnold in the gun. Zach Charbonnet in the backfield picks up the blitz, and that pass is caught by Jackson Smith-Njigba, and that's enough for a first down. And believe it or not, that may be his first reception of the night, unless they were calling that end around a reception. So finally, Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's breathing a sigh of relief. These two Ohio State standouts have had a rough night. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jackson Smith-Njigba have had a rough out. So wide receiver U has not showed up tonight. 13 seconds. Here's the handoff to Kenneth Walker. He tries to get around the side, and he gets absolutely nothing. You got Goodlow on the play. The defensive tackle able to get in there and just bring Kenneth Walker down to the ground. All right, so 17-6 at the end of the 3rd quarter. 4th quarter, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and put them 4s up in the air with your boy. 4th quarter. Here on the State of the NFL podcast, TJ Jones with you all on this Thursday night edition. Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks, NFC West rivalries, trying to take a step closer to trying to win the NFC West. And right now, the Arizona Cardinals are not looking too good right now. Do you guys see our punter goofball gave up? Saints have more coaches, players, and GMs across the NFL. Yeah, and it seems like they find success in other places. Ain't that something? Seattle Seahawks offense is a dog, TJ. I mean, they got some good things going for them. You know, I mean, they got some talented players, but I think there's still some more meat on the bone there. Like I do. I really do, Jeremiah. I think they still got some meat on the bone. I still don't think they scratched the surface just yet. See Olave a nothing burger. Hey, TJ, besides 2009 Super Bowl team, what was your favorite Saints team? Go back to 2011, 2018. What I was saying. I think that the 2018 Saints was better than the 2009 Saints. I'm serious. I know the 2009 Saints won the Super Bowl, but I think the 2018 Saints were better. I think that the 2018 Saints was the best Saints team they ever had. I'm serious. Like, we all know what happened in 2018. Saints should have been in a Super Bowl. Y'all know what happened. Kubiak still can't make adjustments from the looks of it. That's what I said. That's what I wanted to pay attention to. Still can't make those adjustments in the second half. The Cards need a more intimidating logo. Colors are cool, but they need to add some sharp teeth to the bird mouth or something and make the helmet red or black. Well, I mean, look. I mean, it's only so many ways you can make a Cardinal look intimidating. When open his mouth or something like that, like Louisville Cardinal or something. I don't know. I like the 2011 Saints, TJ. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had a high-powered offense, but I think when it all comes down to it, like when it comes to defense and offense, like if the offense had a down game, the defense was able to step up in 2018. If the defense was lacking, the offense can be able to step up and be able to win those football games. Like I could think about like the game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? That was a game where the defense like really, allow Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers to really go out there and eat. Now, it took like a defensive play in the end to win that football game, but the offense kept them in that thing. All right, but anyway, here we go. 2nd and 15 for the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold on the gun. He throws the ball, and he gets it off to Cooper Kupp. He stiff arms, and he gets knocked out of bounds by Buda Baker, but not before he probably gets about 10 yards on the play. So this is going to set up a very manageable 3rd down. So you're trying to get off the field on 3rd down. You're trying to get the ball back to the Arizona Cardinals offense. Let's see what they do here on a 3rd and 4. Sam Darnold making adjustments here at the line of scrimmage, calling out his protections, trying to make sure that he has the best play call possible to try to execute here. Snap. Sam Darnold in the gun, looking, goes through his progressions. And he tries to get out the pocket. There's a flag on a play. He tries to run, and he gets knocked out of bounds, and he will not get the 1st down. And there is a flag on a play, but Sam Darnold is saying that this is going to be on Arizona Cardinals. So if this is holding on the defense, this is going to be an automatic 1st down. And and that is on Thompson with the hold. And man, that is not what you need right now. So Seattle marches on, get an automatic 1st down. And if you're Thompson, you got to be able to get that out your head, man. He's saying that, man, what are you talking about? But clearly the referee saw something. So Clint Kubiak and the Seattle Seahawks offense is trying to put a nail in the coffin and call it a night. If they score a touchdown here, you got to believe the way that the Arizona Cardinals offense has been playing, then, this might be the dagger. So here we go. 1st and 10. Sam Darnold on the center. Kenneth Walker in the backfield. A.J. Barner in motion. And he sends Arroyo in motion, play action. Sam Darnold looking, and he checks it down to Kenneth Walker, and that pass is incomplete. Can't bring it in. Davis Gaither all over him, and Kenneth Walker could not corral that pass. So that's going to bring up 2nd down. That was not for Kenneth Walker. That was more of a check down. You tell they wanted to take a shot down the field, but it was not there, so he tries to check it down. And Kenneth Walker, not really known for his ability to catch the ball, even though he can. He's more of a run in between the tackles type guy. 2nd and 10. You got Cooper Kupp in motion. Sam Darnold on the gun. He moves Arroyo over. He has Kenneth Walker in the backfield with him. Here's the snap. Looks to his right. Looks up the middle. And that pass is caught by Jackson Smith and Jigba. He had the 1st down. He jumps back, but he's able to get back to the 1st down mark. And that's enough for a 1st down. So not a very busy night for Jackson Smith and Jigba, but the last few drives he was able to be active, and it couldn't have come at a better time because you need your big time players to make plays when you're trying to close out a game. And that is what you want, right? You want to be able to attack the football, but you also want to be able to get up the field. All right, so 1st and 10. Sam Darnold under center. And here's a handoff to Kenneth Walker. He tries to get around the side, tries to make somebody miss. He gets past the line of scrimmage, gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. Nice effort by Kenneth Walker. That could have been easily a stop in the backfield, but he's able to fight forward for a few yards. All right, so Sam Darnold, 15 of 21, 181 yards, a workman-like night for the veteran quarterback. 2nd and 6. Sam Darnold under center. And they have a fullback in the backfield, so this might be a handoff, and it is. Kenneth Walker able to get around the side, and he gets around the corner, and he gets to about the 10-yard line. So really good run right there by Kenneth Walker. That's going to bring up 1st and goal, and Seattle is in the red zone. So, I mean, this is classic I formation type stuff here. So he gets it, puts his foot in the ground, able to cut back to the left, gets around the corner, and gets some big-time yards on the play. Really good block right there by the guard, and Kenneth Walker is able to get around that sidelines. All right, so here we go. 1st and goal for the Seattle Seahawks. They hand the ball off. This is the Zach Charbonnet. He puts his foot in the ground, cuts back, and he's in for the touchdown, but hold the phone. There's a flag on the play, and from the looks of Zach Charbonnet's face, it is going to be holding on Seattle. And Jackson Smith-Njigba is like, hex to the no. And Jackson Smith-Njigba was all up in the referee's face. He did not like it. The referee gave him a stoic look. I don't know if I agree with that or not. He's calling it a holding penalty. Seemed like he was trying to get upfield. Seemed like they kind of collided into one another. Jackson Smith-Njigba like, man, what the heck is you talking about? You tripping? My next question is, why did Jackson Smith-Njigba have a Dallas Cowboys star on his hand? On his bicep. I get another story for another day. All right, he's letting them know that was just some BS. All right, so Thompson, who was responsible for that holding penalty that kept his drive alive, is a little shaken up on the play. He's going to go to the sidelines. Man. Hey, TJ, what you thought about the Saints during the Aaron Brooks days? I mean, I was happy they won their first playoff game, but more so than not, I felt like, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. I'll just keep it at that. A lot of pre-snap motion. Yeah, I mean, that's what you get from a Clint Kubiak's offense. Of course, a lot of you already know that. For those that are tuning in over on the State of the Saints podcast channel, Clint Kubiak, former offensive coordinator of the Saints. All right, so anyway, 1st and goal, and here's the handoff. This is off to Kenneth Walker. He tries to get around the sidelines. He fights, and he gets a few yards on the play. I want to say maybe got about 5 yards on the play. So it's going to be 2nd and goal. And, if you're Seattle, you had opportunities to get into the end zone. A couple penalties kind of stunted the momentum, but you still have opportunities to get into the end zone to try to pull away in this game. And the way things are going right now, if you get 24 points, this could be pretty much insurmountable. You will leave Arizona one-dimensional, and if they're trying to throw themselves into the game, it's not going to happen. And there's another flag on the play. So, oh my goodness. The Seattle Seahawks all of a sudden are moving backwards. So we get a false start penalty on Schubert, the blocking tight end. And, I mean, this started off as a very promising 1st and goal, and then all of a sudden you get yourself a holding penalty on Jackson Smith-Njigba. You get yourself a holding penalty on Schubert. And now you're going backwards. So Seattle has got to get it under control here. Because right now you're just moonwalking backwards. This is a long 2nd and goal. All right, so here we go. Sam Darnold in the gun. And this is a handoff to Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker tries to spin around, and I don't know why in the world he did that, because he just rolled right into the hands of Zaven Collins. Right into his hands. Like, I don't understand that. Like, trying to do a little bit too much. Trying to be a little bit too cute right there, man. Like, get up the field. All right. So you tried to spin off the defender there. I just don't understand that. Like, you spin right into the hands of Collins. So I don't get it. I don't understand that. I don't get it. And justifiably so, the running back coach all up in his grill. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, sometimes, man, you just got to get up the field. Like, everybody, you can't be Barry Sanders or Reggie Bush. All right, so here we go. Cooper Kupp gets a little motion around there. Tried to get him on the wide receiver screen, and they get nothing on that play. So really good stand right there with the combination of good defense and undisciplined play. The Seattle Seahawks are going to have to settle for a Jason Myers field goal. And if you're Seattle, like, you're ticked off right now because you had an opportunity to really put a stranglehold on this game, but undisciplined play by the offense, moving backwards, cost this team some points. And, of course, the controversial, I'll call it that, Jackson Smith-Njigba holding call that negated a Zach Charbonnet touchdown. His second touchdown would have been his second touchdown of the night. So a 31-yard attempt by Jason Myers up, and pretty chip shot field goal for a really accurate guy. It is good. So 20-6, Seattle has the lead over the Arizona Cardinals. So right now, still got a 2-touchdown lead. Plenty of time for the Arizona Cardinals to try to get themselves back into this game. Why does Caleb Bears quarterback? I don't know. Is that a question, or what do we ask here, Creole? Let's see. Okay, why does Caleb Williams wear nail polish? Black suspect. Look, I don't know, man. I mean, that's just a modern day, Gen Z type guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see a lot of these young Gen Zs be out here with the fingernail polish on. I mean, I don't get it, but hey, that's their thing. No flags in the red zone. Schubert sucks. He a good blocking tight end, but Clint Kubiak obsession with running Walker needs to be studied. I mean, look, I understand why he running a Walker is working, but that last run by Walker, I don't know what the heck he was doing. Let's see. Trizzy says Seahawks defense is legit, and Marvin Harrison has a case of the yips. Absolutely, man. What's going on, Trizzy? Thank you for being here, man. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has a case of the yips right now. He's definitely in his head. Chosen said, TJ, have you had a chance to check out wide receiver Denzel Boston? No, I haven't had a chance to really check out Denzel Boston. I haven't really had a chance to really check this guy out. I mean, I think that you were asking me about him quite a bit. Let's take a look, man. I mean, I know him. He's the wide receiver from the University of Washington. I mean, he has the size. I want to say maybe like 6'3", 6'4", something like that. Big, big target guy, big 50-50 ball guy. Heard a lot of positive things about him. Haven't really got a chance to watch any film on him, but I plan on maybe checking him out and a few more wide receivers out this weekend. TJ, you're the man. Found your show after the Niners week and with Jesse. Saints are in a hard spot right now. AJ, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for stopping by, and shouts out to Jesse, man. It was a pleasure to be a part of his platform and be able to talk 49ers football, man. So I just appreciate the invite, and thank you for stopping by, man, and holding it down with us over here, man. Fun fact, coaches hate 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6 more than any other play situation. I don't see why, because, I mean, that's what you want, Josh. I mean, if you're running a ball on first down and let's just say maybe you checking down on second down, that's like 3rd and manageable, right? You don't want to be in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. So, you want to be like around 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 5 because that's a manageable 3rd down. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. They really got to get going here. Trey McBride in motion. Trey Benson in the backfield with Kyler Murray. Looking, throws the ball, and that pass is caught. That is by Marvin Harrison. And he gets past the line of scrimmage, gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. So 2 connections back-to-back. Marvin Harrison is able to bring it in. And Kyler Murray career versus the NFC West is not a good one. 8-21, 27% winning percentage, if I'm not mistaken. So that is not a good thing. All right, so Kyler Murray, looking, stepped up in the pocket, tries to running, gets the first down a little bit more, continues to run, scrambling, scooting down the field. So gets a big gain on the play. So Kyler Murray like, man, okay, y'all ain't going to get open. Let me go ahead and do this myself. And that is enough for a first down. So finally, that lane opens up. It seems like they had a spy on Kyler Murray all night. This time, you have the linebacker goes back in coverage. He probably more than likely was a spy, and Kyler Murray is taking advantage of this. All right, in the gun. Kyler Murray rolling, gets there, and he slides down. What in the world is going on here? I don't know, man. Kyler Murray seems like there's more meat on the bone for him, but he just giving himself up a little bit too quickly. I can understand you don't want to absorb any type of punishment, but, man, it's the fourth quarter, man. You got to be able to go out here and try to put the team on your back here, the way they were playing tonight. All right, so a little bit of tempo here by the Arizona Cardinals, keeping the defense of Seattle on the field, probably like the matchup that they see, calling out the protections. Kyler Murray shifts Trey Benson from left to right, and here's the snap. They hand the ball off to Trey Benson. You got me saying Trey Benson, even though he did play for the Arizona Cardinals at one time. Trey Benson is able to get the ball up the field, and that's going to bring up a third down. So it looked like there was opportunity there for him to get some extra yards, but that lane closed really quickly. Credit to the defensive line. So right now they're still playing a little bit of tempo here on a third down, and Kyler Murray and Arizona Cardinals trying to convert this on a 3rd and 8. He's in the gun. Here's the snap. Looking. Throws the ball, and that pass is complete in the middle of the field to Trey McBride for the first down. So Arizona on the move right now, trying to get into the end zone to cut into this lead and make it a 7-point lead for Seattle instead of a 14-point lead. So he's still using tempo, hands the ball off to Benson. Benson gets up the middle, still fighting, and he gets corralled, but he gets about 3 or 4 yards on the play. So this is going to bring up a second down, and now the clock continues to tick, and now you got to start using a little bit more tempo here. But this is beneficial to the Arizona Cardinals because you're keeping this defense on the field. Doesn't give them opportunity to substitute. They tried to give it to Weaver, and there's a flag by Woolen. Hold up, man. You ain't shut them down like this, and you know it. And that is pass interference. Come on, man. You was hugging this man. Look, you might as well get a man dead in a movie the way you were holding him. So this is going to be a spot foul and an automatic first down. So Weaver, one-on-one with Woolen. He tried to give him with that double move. I mean, he grabbing on this man, hugging on this guy. I mean, come on, man. And Kyler Murray gets hits. He gets slung down to the ground. He feels like he should have had a flag. In today's NFL, he probably should have had one. All right, so Woolen has had a rough night, man. 2 big-time pass interference penalties. All right, so 1st and goal here for the Arizona Cardinals. And looking. Kyler Murray gets pocket collapse and Wusu with the sack. And I believe that's his 2nd sack of the night. So having a monster night, and this defensive line of the Seattle Seahawks are on the attack. It seems like they're getting pressure up the middle. Seems like the guard positions for the Arizona Cardinals are constantly getting whipped. I mean, they're getting whipped right now. But that was the right tackle right there. He was able to get around him, but this offensive line of Arizona has had a lot of problems with the Seattle defensive line tonight. 2nd and goal for the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray in the gun, and he's looking some more. Throws the ball down the field to Harrison. Touchdown. Marvin Harrison. And if anybody needed a touchdown, if anybody needed a big play, it is Marvin Harrison Jr. And that's exactly what Arizona Cardinal fans want to see. You want your big-time players to make plays. Best on best. Devin Witherspoon on Marvin Harrison. Draped up. dripped out, know what I'm talking about, and he still comes down with the football for the touchdown. I mean, coverage couldn't get any better. But sometimes you got to count on your big-time receiver to make a play. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good, barely. And Marvin Harrison breathes a sigh of relief like, thank God. I was able to get that touchdown. Man, he needed that, man. That was a much-needed confidence booster. That was a much-needed confidence booster. You got to be happy for the young man who has been going through some tough times. That could be the start of maybe getting him out of this funk that he's in. Kyler is awful. I've seen worse. I remember when Woolen was looking like the next Sherman, and now he's looking like the next Browner. Nice catch, says Addison. Jess says incredible catch. I mean, sometimes you got to get that ball, put that ball up there and just count on your receiver to get it. Sometimes you just got to count on your receivers, man. That was perfect coverage by Witherspoon. 7 points to go for a comeback score on Seattle Seahawks in the fourth quarter, TJ. Yeah, man, they got to get moving. They got to get that stop if they're the defense. I mean, we see like Seattle has shot themselves in the foot. They had an opportunity to pull away and have a touchdown. Zach Charbonnet rushed for a touchdown. They called holding on Jackson Smith and Jigba. Then you got another holding penalty that pushed you back a little bit further. So, you know, like they got to stop shooting themselves in the foot. And Clint Kubiak has got to call some of his best stuff. I mean, it seemed like they've been able to move the football, but, you know, these self-inflicted wounds are keeping Arizona in this game. Who you got on Saturday evening, TJ? LSU or Ole Miss? I'm gonna roll with LSU in this game, man. I'm gonna roll with LSU. Wish the Saints had a wide receiver that can do that. Don't we all? Don't we all? Well, if you're a Saints fan. TJ, who you got, Bama or Georgia? Man, I got Georgia in that game, man. Man, Alabama, like, man, we all know, man. Come on. We all know, man. Alabama ain't what they used to be, man. You know, the board, it got them boys looking soft as cottonelle tissue right now. All right, so Caleb DuBois, yeah, he got them boys looking soft. All right, you know he on his way out. We know Tuscaloosa ain't happy right now with the coach. And no matter if he's owed $70 million or not, like, they're going to give it to him and they're going to try to find another coach. And, you know, don't be surprised if old Dabo end up being a coach at Alabama next year. You know, Clemson, they not too happy with him right now. So, and he already said, like, if you don't think I still got it, go ahead and let me go. All right, so here's the return. And he leans forward, gets past the 20-yard line, and good special teams by Arizona has been done a really good job tonight, because we know the special teams of Seattle played really well. And Marvin Harrison Jr., like I said, he's on the sideline. He's breathing a sigh of relief right now. He is breathing a sigh of relief. He's happy. He's excited. You know, he probably just kind of keeping his composure, but he has to be breathing a sigh of relief after that touchdown. I mean, he's been going through a little bit of a rough patch. But 1st and 10. Now the pressure is on Seattle to try to come away with some points here. Cooper Kupp in motion. Sam Darnold in a gun. Looking. Tried to get it to Cooper Kupp. And that pass is almost intercepted. And Sam Darnold kind of let that ball sail on him. I mean, it seemed like the receiver was there on that crossing route. He just could not connect with him. So this is 2nd and 10. So Jonathan Gannon, who calls the defense for the Arizona Cardinals, he's trying to dial up some of his best stuff right now, trying to get Sam Darnold off the spot. Arizona Cardinal faithful, trying to get their team back into the game, trying to bring the noise, trying to make problems for Sam Darnold and the offense to operate. All right, so here's the snap. Here's the handoff to Kenneth Walker. Tries to get around the side. He barrels forward, fighting, scratching, clawing, gets a few yards on the play, but that's still going to bring up a 3rd down. And this is a big-time 3rd down for both teams. If you're Seattle, you're trying to convert. If you're Arizona, you're trying to force a 3 and out and trying to keep this momentum train going. Take a look at Clint Kubiak. Understands his 3rd and 6 is extremely important. Play call is in. Trying to communicate to Sam Darnold. Defense needs to make a stop. Arizona Cardinal fans on their feet waving the towels. Zach Charbonnet in motion. Motions back to the backfield. Sam Darnold in the gun. Here's the snap. Looking. Plenty of time. Throws the ball down the field. Jackson Smith-Njigba. It is a catch. Smith-Njigba, one-on-one, able to get that first down in a clutch catch by two Ohio State. Got him on a sluggo. Able to get that boy on that stop and go. Milton didn't know it hit him. Toe, drag, swag, and you got yourself a first down. Milton. Call him Eli Apple because he biting on a double move. Sam Darnold, clutch. Big-time players, ladies and gentlemen, make big-time plays in big-time situations. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson Smith-Njigba been quiet all night in the second half, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, come alive. And Calais Campbell, the seasoned veteran, a little shaken up right now. But he's able to get to the sideline on his own power. What a throw by Sam Darnold. What a throw. I don't know what in the world Arizona was thinking. Why in God's name are you playing man-to-man coverage in that situation? I have absolutely no idea, especially since your front four was able to stop the run most of the night. All right, so Bobo in motion on his 1st and 10. Here's the handoff to Kenneth Walker. Tries to get around the sidelines and gets nowhere. He probably get back to the line of scrimmage, but that about it. All right, this is going to bring up 2nd down. I just wish Kenneth Walker just make up his mind. Like, man, I think he's just doing too much. Like, get upfield. I feel like the running by Kenneth Walker over the last couple of drives have been, he's trying to be too cute. Like, man, find a hole, trust your eyes, and hit it. All right, so here we go. This is 2nd and 9 for the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold on the center, Kenneth Walker in the backfield. And this looked like that same play that they ran that got them that big game. And this time they got it under control. So once again, like I said, when they run up the middle, the defensive tackles of Arizona is able to get penetration. I don't understand why you're playing man-to-man coverage in a situation like that, especially when you know where the ball is going to go. And I'm pretty sure if they're playing man coverage again, I would throw it to Jackson Smith-Njigba again. I mean, I would do the same exact thing. Every time I see man-to-man coverage, I'm looking for Jackson Smith-Njigba. What are you doing? So what you don't want to do right now on a 3rd and 9, I'm pretty sure, like, I got to look at the yardage here, but I'm pretty sure you probably at field goal range. So you don't want to take a sack in this type of situation. You don't want to take a sack. So Sam Darnold on a 3rd and 9. If you don't have a player that's open, throw that ball away so you can kick this 50-yard field goal. But anyway, he's in a gun. Charbonnet in the backfield with him. A delayed handoff. They decide to carry the football. Zach Charbonnet is tackled by Crawford. And this is going to bring up a 4th down. And this is going to bring out Jason Myers. So he's probably going to be kicking about a 47 or 48-yard field goal right here. So even though this is not a chip shot, you still have a very capable field goal kicker in Jason Myers to be able to make this field goal, to make this a 2-possession lead for the Seattle Seahawks. If you're Arizona, you don't want to jump off sides. All right, so here we go. A 53-yard field goal. And snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is no good. Wide right. He misses the field goal. A reliable field goal kicker misses a 53-yarder. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got ourselves a nail biter here tonight on Thursday Night Football. I mean, the nothing was wrong with the snap. Nothing was wrong with the placement. He just shanked that mug. No good. Not the easiest field goal in the world. But at the end of the day, you got one job. Jason, you got one job. And Jackson Smith and Jigma like, man, we may have shot ourselves in the foot. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals, trying to get into the end zone. Kyler Murray looking, checks it down, and he gets around the sidelines. And Machado, who I think maybe that's probably like his first catch or carry or anything of the night, was a guy that I thought maybe it would have been a backup tonight. Instead, they went with Michael Carter and Seattle's been getting a heavy dose of Trey Benson here tonight, but he finally able to get his hand on the football. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Arizona Cardinals. 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Snap. Kyler Murray looking one-on-one. And Mike Wilson said that he got pushed out of bounds there, saying that it was incomplete. Really good coverage right there, controlling the boundary, making sure that Wilson is not able to get his feet in bounds. So let's take another look here. Completes. And no, that is incomplete right there. Could not. Got his foot. And no, that is incomplete right there. The craziest thing about it is if he probably would have hit the ground with his shin, it would have been a completed pass. So 3rd and 4 for the Arizona Cardinals. Got to believe this is 4th down territory regardless. Here's the snap, and he throws it, and that pass is knocked away by Devin Witherspoon. And that brings up 4th down, so a 3 and out. And you have to believe that Arizona, are they going to punt this ball? I'm not punting this football right now. I am not punting this football. I am going for it. I am going for this. And they are. 4th and 4 for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not going to say this is the last chance, but you're not going to get too many more opportunities in this game. A little bit of miscommunication right here. There's a timeout. And this is the timeout by Seattle. They took a look at what Arizona was going to do, trying to make sure that they got the right defense in place to be able to counteract what they're doing. So really good use of the timeout right there by Mike McDonald. Not the singer, but the coach. We can't forget I don't love anymore. I can't forget these will never be the same again. All right. Anyway, that was a missed opportunity right there by Zach Charbonnet. And, he scored a touchdown. That's going to be a meme. I guarantee you that picture with that referee giving Jackson Smith and Jigba that look is going to be a meme when it's all said and done. You're right, TJ. That is not groupie. Well, if it were groupie, it probably would have went into the stands where he's kicking right now. 4th and 4 for the Arizona Cardinals. And like I said, this is not their last chance. They still got 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, but you want to get a first down here. Kyler Murray in a gun. Here's the snap. Bringing pressure. And, what a catch by Mike Wilson. What a catch. Wasn't even looking. Just turned around, put that big paw up in the air, and was able to bring it down. Really good concentration right there. I didn't think he was going to catch it. I mean, by the time he turned around, that ball was right there. Trey Benson on that stretch play gets around the corner. Excuse me. All right, so, man, that was a big-time play right there. Big-time play right there by Mike Wilson, keeping his drive alive. 2nd and 2. Here's the quick snap. All right, so here we go. Kyler Murray spinning, sacked. So big play by Thomas right there, able to get the sack. Arizona tried to catch Seattle off guard, tried to do a little bit of a hurry up. And Kyler Murray is like, man, my goodness. Can a brother get some time? But that is the 2-minute warning, so this has to be 4th down territory right here. I mean, you have 2 timeouts, so if you don't convert this 3rd down, then more than likely it's going to be over. I wish Mike McDonald was still our defensive coordinator. What's happening, yo? Yeah, what's going on, Jules? But he's doing a really good job right now. Seattle coach not smiling tonight. Yeah, man, it's a close game. Nail biter. It's always great to see guards actually block, not your guards blocking his own teammates. Need to clip you singing. I can't forget. Hey, y'all know Mike McDonald, man. I don't love anymore. I can't forget. Things will never be the same again. Hey, that's one of my favorite songs of all time. That's where they get that beat from. I know y'all remember that Warren G and Nate Dogg Regulators. That's where the beat come from. As crazy as that sound. Regulators. That's where they get that beat from. Mike McDonald. Ain't that crazy? Michael McDonald. I can't forget. Let's see. Need to clip singing for our team or look so bad this season, TJ. Hey man, I already gave y'all a new joint out right now talking about them Saints. Y'all already know, man. I already gave y'all a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all already know I'll come through with the heat for y'all viewing and listening pleasure. All right. TJ singing it, fam. Yeah, Mike McDonald, he keeps them running them Seahawks. The Doobie Brothers. You gonna hang for overtime, TJ? If there is overtime, yeah, I'm hanging. Okay, we're here to the end of the game, no matter how long it is. All right, hopefully, it doesn't go into overtime, but if it does, I mean, I don't know, man. Arizona might end up trying to win this football game outright. Yonder Gannon got that look in his eyes. All right, so here we go, 3rd and 9. All right, so you got best on best, man. Look, I'm going to. All right, so here we go. Yeah, Dortch gets the round side. Really good play right there. Blocks out in front. That was what they were trying to run. I want to say maybe in the 3rd quarter, and Dortch ended up like dropping a pass. So probably best that he did. All right, so here we go. Minute 37 seconds left. 1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. You got Trey Thompson looking like he's trying to cover the blitz. And yeah, he is coming. So good blitz pickup right there. Passes off to Marvin Harrison Jr. And he gets a few yards and gets knocked out of bounds there. So really good smart play right there by Marvin Harrison Jr. Get what you can and get out of bounds. And it stops the clock at 1 minute and 21 seconds left. Got 2nd and 5 for the Arizona Cardinals. And Mike McDonald right now is trying to call the best plays possible. It's very rare that you see two coaches that are defensive-minded coaches calling plays. Like most of the time you see most offensive versus defensive coaches, but two defensive-minded coaches calling the plays for their respective defenses tonight. Kyler Murray in the gun. Here's the snap. Looks, throws the ball down upfield. Yeah, and that is incomplete. He's looking for a flag. Ref don't give him one. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't have an issue with that, all right? When the game is on the line, you get the ball to your best player. Trey McBride is clearly one of his best players. Missed time jump right there. Trey McBride says he basically stopped his momentum. I think it's more bang, bang. Good no flag called right there. I think that was a really good non-call. All right, so 3rd and 5. Michael Carter in the backfield on a 3rd down. And right now there's some miscommunication. The play clock was down to 2, so now you're using one of your timeouts. Now Arizona has 1 remaining. You got to be able to line up, man. Like you had plenty of time there. You had plenty of time. Michael McDonald said, copyright strike, fool. I can't forget. Throw it up to Marv again to end it. Well, you try to get the 1st down right now. Like if, you move the chains and you get a new set of downs, then you can probably go for that. But I'm not going for a 50-50 right now on the 3rd and 5. I'm trying to convert. You don't have to score a touchdown here, but you at least got to get 5 yards. So look for Kyler Murray. Okay, they're trying to bring pressure up the middle right here. So they want to make sure they keep Kyler Murray in the pocket. All right, so and he's going for it, and that pass is cut by Marvin Harrison. That's what you do in a moment like this. I wouldn't have done it, but hey, he's saying that he pushed off. But Marvin Harrison Jr. is coming alive right before our eyes right there. 1st and goal, Cardinals. I think that play was coming. Hey, I'm doing it again. I am doing it again. He's at the bottom of the screen. But be careful. You might have Kobe Bryant probably go roll coverage, and he does. And they run up the middle, and they tried to catch him off guard there, but nobody was fooled. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and goal. And Seattle called the timeout. Wow. That's very interesting right there. I mean, he ran the football. You call the timeout? So, man, really good play design right there. You got Mike Wilson running in. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. running out. Really good ball placement by Kyler Murray. Back shoulder throw. Only Marvin Harrison had opportunity to get it. And this man is coming alive in the second half. 5 receptions for 58 yards after a very, very quiet first half. And like I said, Marvin Harrison Jr., a game like this could do wonders for a guy's confidence, especially if Arizona can find a way to squeak out a victory or even tie this football game. All right, so here we go. 2nd and goal here. Looking. That pass is caught, and he's in for the touchdown. Mercado. DeMarcado in the end zone for the touchdown. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a ball game. Unfreaking believable, man. What a turn of events. All the momentum in the world shifting away towards the Seattle Seahawks. But one bad drive, miscues, mishaps can flome us, if you will. But Ryland has got to make this field goal. Snap, placement, kick, on the way, and it is good. Tied ball game. 28 seconds left in the game. Arizona scoring 14 unanswered. In the late stages of the 4th quarter. What a drive. DeMarcado, unheralded, unsung, but gets into the end zone when his team needed it the most. Wouldn't even be in a game more than likely if James Conner wasn't injured. But hey, you take advantage of your opportunities. And man, when I tell you football is the game of emotions, in the first half, boo birds out and about. All of a sudden, a change of momentum and a crowd right back into the game. How do you not like football? How do you not like this game called? How do you not love this game called football, ladies and gentlemen? Trizzy, you definitely called it. I thought it was coming, but I thought maybe they'll try to convert on that first down first. Wait a minute. What we got here? Okay, so it's a penalty because I don't think it landed in the landing zone, maybe? Wow. Whoa. Wow. You got to put it in the landing zone, which it was not. Wow. 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 Unbelievable. TJ, play the after show theme. Play the after show theme. Okay, you want to play the after show theme? We got shots out, shots out, shots out, shots out, shots out. To them after show boys, shots out, shots out, shots out, shots out, shots out. To them after show boys, they be tweet and be post, they be tweet and be post, they be tweet.
Yeah, them after show boys, they be tweeting and be post, they be tweeting and be post, they be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys.
1st and 10, Sam Darnold throws the ball to the right, and it is incomplete. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 10, Clint Kubiak trying to call his best stuff. And the Arizona Cardinal fans are back into this game, making it extremely tough. If you're Arizona, you don't want them to get nothing. Sam Darnold got to be careful here, not to make a mistake. Here's the pressure. Throws the ball, and that pass is caught by Jackson. Smith and Jigba for the first down, 15 seconds left. They're trying to hustle to the – and are they going to use their final timeout? Yeah. He's trying to huddle up, so they're going to use their final timeout here. So right now, nothing cheap, nothing deep, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you want if you're Arizona. Nothing cheap, nothing deep. If you're the Seattle Seahawks, you're trying to get a quick pass close to out of bounds as possible. No, he out. He was out. He was out of bounds. He was out of bounds. It's clear. It's clear that he's out. Wish Olave had this kind of dog in him. He's been burning Milton to a crisp. That's just a hard matchup, man. That dude is a beast. Oh my God, they can't be serious about it. All right, so here we go. And yep, he got it out, man. It's clear. Clear as day. Seattle Sea Thugs. TJ played the before show thing. I don't got that. Let me see. Oh yeah, yes I do. Yes I do. But we can't play that right. Hold on, let me see. Are we still at timeout? All right. This is more like, putting the comments in the chat.
Hey, what's going on? It's TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and
we put this on hold. 18 seconds left. 18 seconds left. All right, so here we go. Sam Darnold in the gun, and is a timeout by Arizona. They understand the magnitude of this play. Back to the music.
Hey, what's going on? It's TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and we're about to do what it do, baby. You probably have something to say about the black and gold that's burning hard in your soul. Take those fingers, give them the working. Put them comments in the chat.
Put those comments, put them in the chat.
All you gotta do is go ahead and put them things in the chat.
I wanna hear what you gotta say.
I wanna hear from you.
Talk to me and not so bad.
Oh, you ain't gotta worry about it. All you gotta do is talk to me. I talk back to you now.
Put those comments, put them in the chat.
All you gotta do is put them comments in the chat.
I wanna hear what you gotta say.
I wanna hear from you.
Talk to me and not so bad.
Talk to me. I guarantee you, I'm gonna talk right back to you.
All right, so the handoff to Zach Charbonnet, fighting for extra yards, fighting. 13 seconds, 12 seconds, 10 seconds. And they are going to send out Jason Myers, who's bringing in his own smelling salt. Of course, y'all know that there's a rule now that teams cannot provide players with smelling salt anymore. So it is a 52-yard field goal. Of course, he missed a 53-yarder. All right, so here we go. Will Jason Myers miss this field goal? Will this game go into overtime? Or will it be a valiant effort by the Arizona Cardinals? Too little, too late. 52 yards. Snap. Placement. Kick on the way, and it is good. The Seattle Seahawks walk off with the win. 23-20. Seattle elated. Arizona dejected. But what a game. The last 5 minutes of this game made this game watchable. I thought that this was going to be an ugly one. I thought that Arizona wasn't going to be able to make this thing interesting. And they did. And it came down to a penalty. Starting these boys in some really good field position. Really good effort by Jackson Smith and Jigba getting out of bounds. 53-yard field goal, Jason Myers missed, but he makes it when it matters most. And Kyler Murray, a valiant effort by the quarterback, but too little, too late. Mike McDonald, excited. Sam Darnold, let's get it. The Seattle Seahawks are now 3-1 on the season, and the Arizona Cardinals disappointed yet again. Their second straight loss in 4 days. In a 4-day span, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. What a game. What a game. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. Can't stand the Sea Chickens. From last Sunday to now, sickening. The Arizona loss of the game with Danton zone. Yeah, that was it. That was it. That was the reason why they lost. Football is the game of inches. Every inch counts. But like I said, a valiant effort by the Arizona Cardinals getting into the end zone, making it interesting. But Sam Darnold going, both players, both quarterbacks going to their go-to guys in clutch situations. And Jason Myers able to tweak it through. 52 yards to win the football game. 23-20, ladies and gentlemen. What a game tonight here on Thursday Night Football. They did not disappoint. The last 5 minutes of this game made this game worth watching. TJ going to be on that freshman disciple. Nah, I ain't going to be on that. I ain't got that type of skills. I ain't got them type of skills, my friend. My hate for Seattle has suddenly reappeared. I can't say I hate Seattle. I actually don't have a problem with them at all. Good teams find ways to win, man. You gotta find ways to win these type of football games. TJ, I can't take this anymore. I'm going to bed. Well, I think we all are going to follow suit, Jerry. I thank you all so much for checking out the State of the NFL podcast. Thursday night football edition, the live watch along between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. A really good game, very entertaining in the fourth quarter, and really do appreciate you all's time. The next game that we will do will be on Sunday night, and that will be a matchup, the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, so that's going to be a very interesting game right there. Excuse me, that's a morning game. Excuse me, that's actually an international game. All right, that's going to be an early game. They're playing abroad. The Sunday night game is going to be Michael Parsons returning to AT&T Stadium to take on the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so I apologize for that. We're not going to stream that early morning game because around that time I'm going to be at church, but we will be doing the Sunday night game, Cowboys versus Packers. Could this be Michael Parsons' revenge game, or will Jerry Jones look like a prophet for letting go Michael Parsons from the team via trade? We're going to look at that game. Should be exciting. Both teams are coming off losses. A shocker. The Cleveland Browns knocking off the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys wetting the bed versus the Chicago Bears. So that should be an interesting one. Both of those teams need a win in a major way. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You can follow me on X at TJAYJones8, and also check out the State of the NFL. Subscribe to the channel. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and put that link inside of the comments so you all can have it. Make sure that you subscribe to the State of the NFL so you can be a part of the live stream. Thank you so much, no matter what team you represent. Appreciate you all stopping by. Till next time, I'll see you down the road.